let us hope here that the World Health Organization, run by a bunch of eugenicists at the UN, is just using this man-made flu to fearmonger and hype for drug companies to sell tens of billions of dollars of useless vaccine and to expand their power and control. As bad as that is, it's a lot better than the headline today out of Reuters. Scientists at CDC say that swine flu may be mutating, and normally flus mutate to something least lethal, less effective, because it's very rare for something to, really be deadly. So normally a mutation, it's like rolling the dice, is going to make a flu that's deadly harmless or less harmful. But magically they're saying, oh, looks like it may get more deadly. Better take your shot. And then you look at the history of all of this. Look, I want to go to your phone calls here. It's just that government started making its move in government started hyping this in a big, big, big way before this even showed up on the scene. And then it shows up on the scene and it had killed one person in Texas, in the entire United States, and the media was acting like it was the end of the world. But not just media, government was coming in and doing this. And then months before, they've been preparing mass graves and getting counties and cities ready to fight the American people and to secure and armor the police and fire facilities for revolution. So I guess the social engineers knew that the American people were going to be rebelling and resisting the banking takeover, the depression, the recession, the tyranny, the corruption, the looting. And I guess they're going to use flu, whether it is deadly or not, as a cover story to put troops on the streets and lock down America. Because that's where all of this is going. That's what's happening with all of this in the final equation. So it is confirmed they have mass graves all over the United States. It is confirmed in the Denver Post and Rocky Mountain News that they have mass graves and incinerators ready. That's mainstream news, linked up on Infowars.com. You want to find one place to easily find it. Or I can give you here. I can give you the exact headline here. State of Colorado issues executive order asserting its authority to bury victims in mass graves and or cremate bodies under emergency situations. Rocky Mountain News. The state of Colorado could seize antibiotics, cremate disease-ridden corpses, and under extreme circumstances dig mass graves under executive orders in the event of a bioterrorist attack. So they are implementing all of this. And here's AFP getting the mass graves ready. There's that headline. This is in today's news. I mean, what do you say to all of this? And then look at this. Swine flu tally halted as school year fears loom. Officials stop counting cases, focus on possible mutation of new virus, MSNBC. I mean, this thing has killed maybe a few thousand people worldwide. Again, why are they acting like it's the end of the world? What do they know that we don't know? Why were they gearing up before it even appeared on the scene? Why did it come out of nowhere in Mexico on the wrong side of the planet for a flu pandemic to break out in the wrong time of the year? Why is it clearly a manufactured virus? Why is it more made of that? Why isn't it killing a lot of people compared to regular flus, but they're acting like it's the end of the world? Because if they're going to move with some other bioweapon release, or if they know this is going to mutate, or they're going to release some other variant that they know is going to mutate, they need to get all their ducks in a row, and they know that's something they can't do secretly because this is such a widespread movement that makes D-Day look tiny, and so they need to go ahead and fearmonger for an earlier strain as their cover to get all this in place. or they're just fear-mongering to sell a bunch of vaccines and federalize and globalize everything as the United States and hundreds of other countries admittedly take their orders on how to respond to this from the United Nations. That's why I'm taking phone calls in the next segment and throughout the entire next hour to get your take, your perspective, your view on what you think is going on here and to bring up your points, because there are so many. All I know is this is coming out of nowhere. They have been gearing up for this. There is no reason for them to be acting like this with this flu that, according to the CDC, has killed a maximum of 197 people when they stopped counting in the United States. And then you go look at those cases. Most of those, it says, were possible. And then you go track them back. They'll say, we were wrong. They died of other causes or of a stroke or of another flu. But regardless, what's going to happen when 37,000 people die in the fall and winter during the regular flu season that do every year? If they can get the American people ready to take forced inoculations and lay down all their liberties and freedoms for nothing, for just a couple dead people, what's going to happen when the regular flu hits? Now, that's the next huge issue. And if you haven't heard this, you've been hiding under a rock. Because of time constraints, I'm not going to play Good Morning America and CNN and Fox and Friends and all these programs that we've played the clips here in the last 3 months. You can just Google country preparing for martial law, Fox News for flu, and you'll get Fox News. Or you can type in Good Morning America, forced inoculations. It's all over the news with the head of the CDC and the head of the World Health Organization saying forced inoculations, and they've gotten ready 195 million doses, and that they're going to force all school children to take it. There's no law your kids have got to take Gardasil or flu shots or anything else. They're trying to set the precedent under color of law to order people to take it. And under the Model States Health Emergency Powers Act in 2002, 2003, they tried to get 14 million first responders, nurses, doctors, firemen, police, city workers, county workers to take the smallpox shot, and they wouldn't do it. So they went ahead and just had local drills with them where they don't have to take it, but they drill to force us to take it. And that's the next big issue. Not just, is this a staged bioweapon? We know it was manufactured. Why are they hyping it when it hadn't killed hardly anybody? That's another issue. Why are they getting mass graves ready? Why were they gearing up for this beforehand? Why was Baxter Pharmaceutical filing patent for the exact same swine flu vaccine an entire year before outbreak? There's that headline. The same company, Baxter, that in 18 countries mixed live weaponized bird flu that kills over 90% of people that come in contact with it with vaccines to be shipped out worldwide. Pull that up for people on screen. Then they had a trial with other pharma companies, the police won't say, in Poland, gave a bunch of homeless people a flu shot and it killed them, but they admit it was a bird flu trial. Now, the scientists we've had on think it was other big flu companies, not even Baxter. The police won't say. They just said a secret program with biotech and vaccine companies that killed a bunch of people. Tamiflu developer. Swine flu could have come from bio-experiment lab. There is ABC News for you. Put up the headline by the London Telegraph of all the homeless dying after they took the experimental bird flu shot. These bastards mixed up. Look. Here's the bigger issue. Not just who set it up. It's clearly engineered. Why were they getting ready secretly before this stuff showed up in April? Why did they hype it as if it was the end of the world over just a few deaths of kids on ventilators and old people on ventilators? First 2 people that killed in Texas were on ventilators. They had compromised immune systems. That's not the issue. And folks, I know I'm upset about this, and that's seen as abnormal. You're only supposed to get upset about football games and stuff. But I got 3 children and a wife and family I love, and I'm sick of this crap. And I know that they forcibly inoculated troops in 1918, and mainstream media admits that's where the deadly swine flu that killed 40 million came. The Spanish flu came from in 1918. And then in 1976, they forcibly injected troops at a U.S. military base that died. Then it spread. They forcibly inoculated a bunch of our citizens, and then it killed them. That's 60 Minutes, not me reporting that. We'll come back and talk about the forced inoculation. Are you going to take the shots?